Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tanapano Premamritam Manidhi Dhiradhi Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksuran Militanyena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Savitanyena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Karamaya Didanti Swapadantikam. First of all, I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha and Diksha Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Asatarasata Sri Srimad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Then I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha and Sannyas Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Asatarasata Sri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Shiksha Gurus, Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharti Goswami Maharaj. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I offer my obeisances at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Bhagavan, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita. I offer my humble obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Arjuna, the hearer of Bhagavad Gita. I offer my humble obeisances unto the feet of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I offer my humble obeisances unto the commentators on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, like Srila Sridhar Goswami Pad, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Baladeva Vijabhushan, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. And I offer my humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are present here today, my Dandavat Pranam. So, now we've spoken 3 of the verses from the Chatur Shloki of the Gita. Verse number 8, verse number 9, and verse number 10. In verse number 8, we have established that Krishna is the source of everything material and spiritual, and that those who know this worship him with all their hearts in bhav, in ecstasy. Okay? So we've established that in the 8th verse, the persons who understand or fully realize this conception of Krishna's being the source of everything material and spiritual, worship the Lord in ecstatic devotional service. Then, in the 9th verse, it's described how Machchita Madgata Pranas Bodhiyantas Parashparam. They are always discussing about Krishna, enlightening one another about Krishna, glorifying Krishna to each other, meditating on Krishna. In this way, they are always engaged, Tushyanti cha ramanti cha, in all of the different rasas, specifically Tushyanti cha meaning parental, vatsalya ras, and ramanti cha, madhurya ras, consorthood. So this is rag bhakti. They're in bhav, they're worshiping the Lord in madhurya ras. Then in the 10th verse, we hear that Krishna gives buddhi yoga, the knowledge by which you can come closer to him, to those devotees, Tesham Satata Yuktanam, who are Ananya Bhaktas and who are always worshiping him, constantly worshiping him in devotion. Then he gives them the buddhi yoga, the knowledge, Tesham Satata Yuktanam, Vajatam Priti Purvakam, with affection and devotion. The Dami Buddhi Yogam Tvam, he gives them that Buddhi Yoga, that Bhakti Yoga, that knowledge. Yenamam Upayanti Te, to come more intimately and closer to him. Srila Sridhar Maharaj in his commentary, emphasizes in the 8th verse about Radhadasyam that Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha specifically means worshipping Krishna's finest servitor, which is Srimati Radhika, and her direct assistant, the Guru. He establishes in the 9th verse that this Ramanti Cha is the topmost platform, consorthood, Madhurya Ras. And in the 10th verse, he establishes that if someone is already in Bhav, they are worshiping in this mood, they are already in Madhurya Ras. What does it mean that Krishna is going to bring them more close to him, more intimate to him? It means that Upapati, he will teach the person who is in Madhurya Ras to go from wedded wife to paramour, to Upapati, unmarried lover of Krishna. That they're married to somebody else, but they're Krishna's lover. So he gives this information. Srila Prabhupada and Srila Narayan Maharaj and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur all talk about Buddhi Yoga in that 10th verse. This Bhakti Yoga, this blessing of Krishna that comes so that we can understand how to be more intimately united with Krishna. Prabhupada makes the point that Buddhi Yoga was discussed in the 2nd chapter. In the 2nd chapter, 39th verse, Krishna says, now I've explained to you Sankhya Yoga, the difference between matter and spirit and the controller of both. Now I'm going to tell you about how you can offer the fruits of your work and sacrifice, Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Now we come to verse 11. This is the last verse in the Chatur Shloki. And this is a very beautiful verse, very poetic. Tesham evanukam paratam aham agna jam tama nashayam yatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. When Lord Chaitanya was in Benares promulgating the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashanand Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares at that time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. The modern philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education or even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic scriptures, are still helped by the Supreme God, as stated in this verse. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by speculating. For the Supreme Truth is so great that it is not possible to understand Him or to achieve Him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the Supreme Truth, he will never understand Krishna or the Supreme Truth. Only by devotional service is the Supreme Truth, Krishna, pleased, and by his inconceivable energy he can reveal himself in the heart, within his reveal himself to the heart of a pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart. Therefore, he is just like the sun that dissipates the darkness of ignorance. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered by the dust of materialism. This is that verse, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the consciousness, the heart. The consciousness is emanating from the soul. The soul is in the area of the heart chakra. So it is covered by the dust of material conceptions. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears. And one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal of Vishnu can be attained only by this pure knowledge. The ultimate goal of Vishnu can be attained only by this, chanting and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the necessities of life. He need not be anxious, because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, for he is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the Gita's teachings. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a completely surrendered soul to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. That's the explanation by Srila Prabhupada of this 11th verse. And Prabhupada's point is very simple. That Krishna is dissipating the darkness born of ignorance in the heart of the living entity by the shining lamp of knowledge. Out of his compassion, he destroys with the lamp of knowledge this darkness of material impressions that are on the consciousness of the living entity, on the subtle body. So, now we will look at what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has to say about this verse. Only out of compassion for these Ananya Bhaktas do I, dwelling within their heart, the core of their hearts, destroy the darkness of samsara born of ignorance with the blazing lamp of transcendental knowledge. Now, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur does inner dialogue. Arjuna may ask, surely you cannot be achieved by a person who has not acquired real knowledge, vidyavritti. That is why one will endeavor for vidya. In response, Sri Bhagavan says, no. I am explaining how I only bless my Ananya Bhaktas, not yogis or others. I myself am always enthusiastic to give my mercy to them, so they need not undergo any anxiety to achieve it. Entering the core of their intelligence, Atma Bhava Sta, I dispel the darkness in their hearts with the lamp of knowledge, Jnana Dipena. That Jnana which enlightens one about me is not sattvic, it is nirguna. You understand the difference? Sattvic means the material mode of goodness. Nirguna means without any modes of material nature. Not tamagun, ignorance, not rajagun, passion, not sattvagun, goodness. It is nirguna. And because this jnana is born from bhakti, it is special. Even within the category of nirgun jnana. Only with the lamp of this particular jnana do I destroy the darkness in their hearts. Therefore, why should they endeavor for this? For those who are exclusively devoted to me, I carry their maintenance and their requirements in accordance with this statement of Gita 9:22. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripashate nitya yukta biyuktanam yoga shema vahamyam. I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Sri Bhagavan accepts the burden of satisfying all of the material and spiritual needs of his Ananya Bhaktas. The above 4 slokas of Gita are famous as the essence of Bhagavad Gita. They are all auspicious and dispel the jiva's misery, which is born of ignorance. Prakash Vritti, the commentary by Srila Narayan Maharaj, with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's quotations as well. Although jnanis and yogis try to attain knowledge by the power of their own intelligence, they remain unsuccessful. Only the Ananya Bhaktas of Sri Krishna, who take exclusive shelter of him, can easily attain knowledge of him by his mercy. Now here we see all the acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. They're laying emphasis to the fact that Krishna provides transcendental knowledge. One doesn't have to make any extraneous or separate endeavor to get this knowledge. All the knowledge that we need will be given to us by Krishna. Krishna will provide it. Only the Ananya Bhaktas of Sri Krishna, who take exclusive shelter of him, can easily attain knowledge of him by his mercy. And since the Bhaktas cannot maintain their lives without Krishna, they are the supreme object of his mercy. Sri Baladev Vijabhushan quotes Krishna as saying, "Being pleased by their ekantika bhav, I bestow upon them complete mercy and also inspire their intelligence, just as I care for their yoga and shema, yoga shema vahamyam. The full responsibility for their maintenance is solely mine. They do not need to endeavor for anything." Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Krishna as saying, "In this way, ignorance cannot remain within those who engage in the process of bhakti yoga." Actually, there's one story about the mercy of Guru. Srila Narayan Maharaj tells how this one devotee, his Guru told him to make sure that in the rains at night, that the wall which was holding the water in the rice paddy fields, that the wall didn't break and then all the water would go out and then the rice paddy would eventually dry out. The water had to be maintained in there. So he was putting some bags to hold it, and still the water came and it pushed it out. Then he couldn't grab the bags to block it. So he himself laid in the hole and stopped the water. And he stayed all night in that hole, holding back the water. So the next morning, the guru didn't see his disciple. He came outside. Then he saw, oh, he is there in the wall, holding the water. So then he blessed him that now you will have all knowledge. This mercy of Krishna comes through Guru. By mercy of Krishna, one gets Guru. By mercy of Guru, one gets Krishna. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, those engaged in the process of Bhakti Yoga, they cannot remain ignorant. Krishna will enlighten them. Some think that only those who try to search after Tadvastu, the absolute reality, by sequentially eliminating all that is atat, non-real, asat, according to the principle of negation, neti, attain true knowledge. And that those who simply cultivate the process of bhakti are unable to attain such rare jnana. So, this is why Srila Prabhupada was pointing out about Lord Chaitanya speaking with Prakashanand Saraswati. Because Prakashanand Saraswati comes from this Mayavadi Sankaracharya line. And he believes that one has to study very carefully what is sat and what is asat. And search the Tadvastu, the absolute reality. And examine everything, neti, not this, neti. This is not absolute truth. This is not absolute truth. This is not absolute truth. This kind of vision, this kind of idea, this kind of conception, this is avaroha panta. I will ascend. I will ascend to Bhagavan by examining everything and eliminating everything that is not Bhagavan or absolute reality. But our process is descending, not ascending. It is descending. Krishna gives to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyas, Vyas to Madhva, etc., down the line to the present Acharya, to us. It comes in a line. It descends. It comes down. It does not come, not that we go up and get it. Krishna brings it down to us when our hearts are clean and ready to receive it. That is the point of bhakti. O Arjuna, the basic idea is that the insignificant jiva can never attain real tattva jnana, merely on the strength of his own intelligence. No matter how much he deliberates, he can never achieve even a particle of pure jnana. But if I bless him, then even an insignificant jiva can easily acquire complete and thorough transcendental knowledge by the influence of my achintya shakti. Simply by dwelling within the hearts of my Ananya Bhaktas, I easily enlighten them with the lamp of transcendental knowledge. By special mercy, I become situated in their hearts and completely destroy the darkness born of ignorance, which arises from the mundane association. It is the right of the jiva to acquire that pure knowledge which appears only by the process of bhakti yoga, not by reasoning. Just as the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is contained within 4 slokas. 2nd canto, 9th chapter, verses 31 through 34. Spoken directly by Bhagavan Sri Krishna to Brahma. In the same way, the above 4 slokas are the essence of Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, verses 8 through 11. Hence, they are popularly known as Chatur Shloki Gita. The essence of Gita as described in these 4 slokas is bhakti. Sri Krishna is personally explaining the nature of Ananya Bhakti to Arjuna. When the sadhaka takes shelter of Ananya Bhakti, Sri Krishna bestows his mercy upon him so that he can easily cross the ocean of material existence and become eligible to enter his Rasamayi Bhakti, Bhakti characterized by the 5 primary mellows in the land of grudge. So, emphasis is again and again on surrender to Krishna, surrender to the practice of devotional service, and let Krishna give you the knowledge. Let Krishna give you the bhakti. Krishna will give you everything through the agency of Gurudev if you surrender to him and serve him with love and devotion. Now, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is going to end this commentary. Last commentary now by Srila Sridhar. Out of compassion for them, I, situated within the hearts of all living beings, dispel the darkness of ignorance with the radiance of knowledge. Or, now he gives an alternative way of writing this verse, being conquered by the love of those devotees who, in the most elevated position of non-calculative loving devotion, Gyan Shunya Prema Bhakti, are afflicted by all-devouring darkness, born of the pangs of separation from me, their Lord, I, granting them the internal illumination of meeting me personally, destroy the darkness of their agony of separation. So here, Srila Sridhar Maharaj brings the verse completely into the conception of Rasa Tattva. He's saying that this darkness of ignorance is the all-devouring darkness born of the pangs of separation from Krishna. The previous verse is talking about paramour love, about the gopis being married to someone else but having a loving relationship with Krishna. This is called paramour, upapati. So, he's saying, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, because these gopis are conquered by love, and in the most elevated position of non-calculative loving devotion, they're not calculating by gyan. They're not calculating in their minds by gyan or knowledge. Oh, I will worship Krishna like this. I will love Krishna like this. If I love Krishna like this, there's no calculation. It's non-calculative. They are not calculating how by doing this they will get this from Krishna. No. The gopis never think like this. The gopis are only thinking, how can I give pleasure to Krishna? Srila Gurudev was saying, when we wake up in the morning, we are thinking, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, and I have to do this work, I have to send the kids to school, or I have to go to work, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. This is how we think. He said, when the gopis wake up, they think, what does Krishna need? Is Krishna hungry? Is Krishna thirsty? Is he tired? Does he need a bath? Does he need a massage? What does Krishna need? How can we give him pleasure? They don't think about themselves. There's no calculation in their mind for their own personal benefit or by doing something for Krishna that they get something in return. No calculation, non-calculative. Their devotion is Gyan Shunya Prema Bhakti. Prem without any tinge of calculation by knowledge. They are, however, afflicted by the all-devouring darkness born of the pangs of separation from Krishna. That is another kind of darkness. The darkness of ignorance of our relationship with Krishna is one thing. But the darkness of our separation from Krishna after meeting him, oh, this is very intense. More intense. More intense. So, he says, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says that Krishna is saying, I am granting them the internal illumination of meeting me personally, and I destroy the darkness of their agony of separation. The general interpretation is always given for this verse, out of compassion for them. I, situated within their hearts, dispel the darkness of ignorance with the radiance of knowledge. But if we appreciate pure, non-calculative devotion, Gyan Shunya Bhakti, the Lord's statement here may again appear redundant and inconsistent with the previous verses. That they're in Bhav and they're worshipping in Radhadasyam, that they're glorifying Krishna to one another and in the mood of consorthood, that they're being brought closer to Krishna in the mood of upapati, from regular swakiya ras to parakiya ras. So now the natural progression would be this, that the darkness is not based on ignorance of Krishna, but on separation from Krishna. This is his point. When those high devotees are already admitted to be performing continuous, unadulterated service, and even above that, they are situated in the plane of pure love, spontaneous and automatic, rag marg, how can it be harmonized that the Lord will now, in the last stage, destroy their ignorance, tamah, which is born from the misunderstanding, agyanatyam, by giving them knowledge of gyan? Now, after all this, after Radhadasyam, after Bhav, after Madhurya Ras, after Parakiya Ras, now he will give them Gyan? This Srila Sridhar Maharaj is saying. Gyan is only a futile, finite conception of the infinite absolute. Gyan karmadi anavritam, bhaktir uttama. When they have achieved devotion, devoid of the covering of knowledge, Gyan Shunya Bhakti, how will they again have to return to that knowledge? In this commentary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has mentioned this knowledge is extraordinary, vilakshanam, but he did not enter into the specific detail. To clarify this point, we have given the following explanation. Lamentation and delusion are generally known to be symptoms of the mode of ignorance, tamagun. In Gyan Shunya Bhakti, the elevated devotees who take Krishna not as a supreme God, but as a friend, son, husband, or lover, will come to experience lamentation and delusion, but this is only an outward appearance of ignorance. In this verse, the Lord's statement, Tesham evanukam partam, generally means, fortunately for them, or to favor them, I dispel their darkness, etc. But it may also be interpreted, I want their favor. I aspire for the favor of the devotees of the highest order. The Lord also says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amritavyaya kalpate Dishtya yad asin matsneho bhakti now madapana. Devotion to me is the only means for the living beings to attain eternal life. O gopis, by your fortune, your love and affection for me is the only reason for your getting my association. By your fortune, your love and affection for me is the only reason for your getting my association. This is the general meaning. However, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has drawn out the inner meaning, which is just the opposite. Through devotion, everyone wants me to help them attain the highest position of eternal benefit. And if they have a connection with me, they consider themselves very fortunate. But I consider myself fortunate because I have come in touch with the valuable affection that I found in your hearts. By my fortune, I got your association. Krishna is speaking like this. Therefore, here in Sri Gita, the Lord saying, Kesham evanukam partam, being conquered by the love of my devotees, when I cannot tolerate their pain of separation, I at once come running to satisfy them, and I reveal to them with special light, special consciousness, I have returned to see you now. I have returned to see you. See me now. With powerful brilliance, Jnana Dipena, I show them my presence when they are very much in need of me, and I relieve their pain of separation. Atma Bhavasto. He reveals himself according to his devotee's divine relationship with him. Rasa. To a friend as a friend. To a mother as a child. To a wife as a husband. And to the sweethearts as their paramour. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left home and accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas, Mother Sachi could not tolerate the deep separation and she began to cry. Sachi Devi was preparing excellent dishes, offering them to the deity and weeping. Where is my Nimai? He is very fond of these curries, his favorite dishes, and Nimai is not here. Suddenly, Lord Chaitanya came. Lord Chaitanya came and he began to eat. Sachi Devi exclaimed, "Oh, Nimai is eating." And for the time being, her separation was relieved. Moments later, she reconsidered. Did I see Nimai eating? Oh, he must now. He is now a sannyasi in Jagannath Puri, so how could he have come here? Did I serve him? Oh, there must be a mistake. Then she examined the pots again to see if there was food there. Finding them empty, she began to conjecture whether even a dog or some other animal had come to eat in it. But during that moment, Nimai had actually come, and Mother Sachi saw him in broad daylight. That illumination is transcendental and not the knowledge, gyan, that is generally known in our vocabulary. The acme of theism is parakiya ras. Parakiya means another's. In every divine relationship, rasa, the Lord captures all. In the whole of Vrindavan, where everyone follows the path of love, rag marg, this parakiya ras is infused. The friends of Krishna sometimes say, some people say that Krishna is a resident of Mathura. They say he's the son of Vasudeva, and he will soon go to Mathura. They say he is not our friend. Will we really lose his company? Then, how will we be able to live in this jungle and drive the cows? They experience this apprehension We may lose him at any time. This intensifies their friend's service to him. Similarly, Mother Yasoda says, some say that Krishna is not my son, that he's Devaki's son. What is this? I won't admit this. He's my child. This idea enhances Yasoda's affection for Krishna. I may lose him. Then how shall I live? Therefore, the Parakiya Ras stresses the rarity of Krishna's relationship, because the possibility of losing his company is always in the background. This is why this Leela in Bone Leela in this world is more intense than the Leela in Goloka sometimes. There's some more intensity here. Why? Because it is enhanced. How it is enhanced? In Goloka, Radha only thinks she has a husband. But here she's married. And in the middle of the night, she has to sneak out from the house, away from her husband, to associate with him, Krishna. So this is intensifying. Intensifying. Therefore, the Parakiya Ras stresses the rarity of Krishna's relationship, because the possibility of losing his company is always in the background. But the highest intensity of service is to be found in Madhurya Ras, the conjugal camp. In the other rasas, there is the idea of suspense that he may go away. But in the conjugal relationship in the divine abode of Vrindavan, the consorts actually cross the direction of the scriptures and of the society, which guide everyone to remain as husband and wife, Svakiya. Parakiya and others has been accepted in the science of devotion as the highest conception above Svakiya, belonging, because social and scriptural sanction is generally a stale conception. Social laws and rules and scriptural laws and rules are considered to be a stale conception. Parakiya or paramour relationship is necessary to deceive those who claim ownership over another, such as a husband over his wife, a parent over a child. In the normally accepted connection, Svakiya, the relationship is very cheap. But to cross the jurisdiction of the scriptures and the society as a paramour means a greater risk, as if to commit sin. Thus, this relationship is very rare, and rarity enhances its intensity and its value. The idea of deceiving the possessor to favor the non-possessor is a beautiful ornamental conception. Actually, in Krishna's case, there cannot be any state of paramourship, because in truth he is the owner of everything. However, by the divine arrangement, it's his fashion in this way to enhance the devotee's internal devotion to the Lord, just as food appears more tasteful when hunger is present. In the planets known as Vaikuntha, the nature of worship of Lord Vishnu is gorgeous, majestic, reverential, and awe-inspiring. But above that, the highest conception of God is just like a human form in nature. It is stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in the teachings to Sanatana Goswami. The most supreme form of Godhead is Krishna, who plays in his eternal divine pastimes just like a human being. An ever-useful cowherd boy of Vrindavan. He enacts his pastimes always playing his flute. His beauty is so charming and sweet that the whole universe is flooded by simple atom of it, and all beings are drawn irresistibly to him. He is approachable by all. We cannot find God nearest of all in a human feature. It has been explained how Krishna's nature of human feature is the highest nature of the Absolute, according to the calculation of ecstasy or rasa, which is the common standard of measurement of the whole scope of the infinite by the development of Santa, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. And then Parakiya, peacefulness, servitude, friendship, parenthood, and consorthood, and the paramour relationship. This is scientifically proved, without whimsical or blind faith. If we follow the line of Rupanuga Bhajan, devotion following the standard of Srila Rupa Goswami, which originates from Sri Chaitanya Dev, the scientific basis can be appreciated. The previous acharyas have left for us, step by step, how we can follow, conceive, and attain these things by the practice of Krishna consciousness. So here Srila Sridhar Maharaj's emphasis is not on getting enlightenment or getting gyan, knowledge of devotional service. That knowledge is already there. The emphasis is on relieving the pains of separation from Krishna in the practice of devotional service. This is the highest thing. He is saying it here in his commentary, that this Parakiya Ras, as explained in these verses, is the most sweet and wonderful thing. So, Srila Sridhar Maharaj's emphasis is on this. Non-calculative devotion, Gyan Shunya Prem. This is where he is explaining the inner meaning and the depth of this verse. And we also see that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur hinted at it, but he did not give the details. This is why Srila Sridhar Maharaj's commentary in terms of giving information, this is why Srila Sridhar Maharaj's commentary in terms of giving information about Rag Marg, spontaneous devotional service, and the epitome of devotional service, the most exalted principles of Madhurya Ras, are given the emphasis by Srila Sridhar Maharaj in his commentary. All right. Noisy out. No. Have them. All right. So that's the Chatur Shloki. Due to the inclement weather. And my own tiredness, because I spent the whole afternoon editing and I didn't get a nap. I think we'll stop here and we'll pick up again tomorrow. It's also late. I came late. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.